Days after a dozen international students at UC Davis had their F1 visas terminated, fear is brewing among foreign students across the nation.
I feel threatened. I feel anxious as well. I don't know in which way or why these visas were terminated, because these people were studying. So what does that mean for the rest of the international students that we are here trying to do our best, and that we're still studying and we're in the process of getting a degree?
F1 visas allow students to enter the U.S. as full-time students at accredited schools, but those who receive this benefit are being scrutinized.
Anybody who's here on a temporary visa, something like the student visa, the F1, is under a microscope, and you can theoretically lose your F1 for anything, for a traffic ticket, for a jaywalking ticket, and obviously for committing more serious crimes.
A spokesperson with UC Davis told KCRA that they have not received an explanation from the federal government for the reasoning behind F1 visa terminations. However, last month, the Trump administration issued an executive order to begin a crackdown on what the president called anti-Semitism, which includes the deportation of international students who have participated in campus protests against Israel's war in Gaza.
We are seeing instead the people who are easiest to catch, and that is the one common thread that we've seen across the board. People who are reporting to immigration to check in because they have pending processes.
The Department of State could not tell us if there's countries they've determined visas should be revoked from, increasing fear and anxiety among the international students community.
And I hope that it's clarified the situation with the visas that were terminated. I hope we can understand how was that process, and if there's something that can be done, or why the visas were terminated.
For immigration experts, the countrywide crackdown on foreign students shows how the Trump administration's mass deportation plans have moved beyond those living in or entering the country without authorization.
None of the major enforcement actions that we've seen have targeted people who are quote-unquote illegally, who are not going through the process. Every single one that I've seen has been focused on people who are in a process or who have legal status.
In a statement, the Department of State emphasized that visa applicants are continuously vetted no matter the visa type, and this includes social media checks as ordered by the Secretary of State. At UC Davis, Marisela de la Cruz, KCRA 3 News.
The administration is scrutinizing students and other visa holders suspected of having terrorist ties and who were in the United States between October 7th of 2023 and August 31st of last year. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the State Department has already revoked more than 300 student visas at universities across the country.